Under the cold moonlight, the village of Uvumba lay silent. The only sounds were the rustling of trees and the occasional whisper from the nearby market square. In the distance, a woman, Amina, stood outside her hut, her gaze fixed on the silhouette of a man, her husband, Juma, packing his belongings under the shadow of the baobab tree. The air was thick with tension. Amina had finally made her choice. After years of patience, after countless warnings, she had walked away, not from love, but from waste. And in the heart of the village, a question lingered. Could the marriage survive when the foundation of trust had cracked under the weight of carelessness? Years before the separation, Amina and Juma were the epitome of harmony. Their wedding ceremony was grand, held under the wide open sky, surrounded by family and friends. Juma, young and full of hope, made a vow that would shape their life together. Let us promise to always be open, especially with our money. We shall save together, spend wisely, and grow our wealth as one. I will trust you, Amina, and you shall trust me, Juma said. Amina smiled at him, trusting his words. Her family had taught her the value of hard work and saving for the future. Together, they opened a joint savings account. Every morning, they put aside a portion of their earnings, planning for a house, for children, and for a future that would be bright with possibility. For years, this was their rhythm, both working hard, both contributing to the household, both making careful, thoughtful decisions. The village saw them as the perfect couple. Others admired their unity and success. But as time passed, something began to shift in Juma. He started spending more freely, buying clothes and items that he didn't need. At first, Amina thought it was just a phase, but then it became a pattern. One evening, Amina noticed a new piece of furniture in their house, an extravagant chair with bright colors. Amina said with concern, "Juma, we agreed on saving for the future. Why are we spending on things like this?" Juma said carelessly, "It's just a chair, Amina. It's not a big deal. We have enough." But Amina's sharp mind saw the truth. The chair wasn't just a chair, it was a symbol of something deeper. The money they had worked hard for was being squandered on frivolous things, things that had no lasting value. The pattern continued. Juma spent money on entertainment, gifts for his friends, and even went out to drink with the men from the village. Amina's warnings grew more pointed. Amina, one night, holding a receipt. "Juma, this is the third time this month that you've bought something we didn't need. You spent more than we agreed on. Our savings are shrinking. Do you not care?" "Don't worry so much. You are always so concerned about every coin. Life is for the living, not just saving. We will be fine," Juma replied. Amina's heart sank. She knew they wouldn't be fine. Their savings account, which had once been full of promise, was now dwindling faster than she could account for. "I cannot continue like this. If you won't change, Juma, then I will. You've chosen the pleasures of the moment over our future. I can no longer stand by and watch our future slip away." Amina spent a quiet morning preparing. She packed a few essentials, her clothes, some food, and a small portion of the savings she had managed to protect. She was not angry, but determined. As Juma slept, she slipped away from their home, her heart heavy but resolute. She moved into a small hut by the river, a place she had always admired for its tranquility. To those who knew her, it seemed a shocking move. Amina had left everything she had worked for, the home, their life, their partnership, to preserve the one thing she could control, her future. Days passed by, and Amina's decision weighed heavily on Juma. His anger grew, and soon he could no longer stay silent. He arrived at her door, his face clouded with frustration. Amina, you abandoned me. You left me with nothing. How could you do this to me? Juma shouted. Amina stood before him, calm and composed. Juma, I left because I had no choice. You chose to be wasteful, while I chose to build. You squandered what we had, and I couldn't watch it fall apart any longer. This is not about love, Juma. It's about survival, said Amina. Juma was pleading. Please come back. I swear, I will change. I will be different. We can start over, just like before. Amina shook her head. I have already started over, Juma, and I will not turn back. You must change. Yes, but that change is for you, not for me. There was a long silence. The truth was clear to both of them. Juma had not only lost Amina, he had lost his way. Months passed, and Amina's decision proved wise. She expanded her small business, taking on more clients and investing in projects that yielded steady returns. The river beside her hut, once a symbol of change, became a partner in growth. While Juma struggled with his choices, Amina flourished. Her wealth grew, not just in money, but in strength, wisdom, and independence. She became a beacon of what it meant to choose oneself, to invest in a future of stability and peace. Juma, on the other hand, faced the consequences of his recklessness. The village soon saw his struggles, and many began to whisper. He was once so proud, but now he is barely getting by, said Abeke. If only he had listened to Amina, said Fusha. And though Amina never took pleasure in his downfall, she had learnt a valuable lesson that financial openness could only succeed if both partners were committed to it equally with respect for the future. In the end, the villagers spoke often of Amina, not with pity but with respect. She was the woman who had the wisdom to choose her future, no matter the cost. Amina stood by the river, gazing out at the calm waters, her heart no longer burdened. She had made the hardest decision of her life, and in doing so had created a life of abundance, both in wealth and in peace. And so, the story of Amina and Juma became a tale passed down through generations. Not of love lost, but of lessons learned, of choices made, and of the power of financial wisdom in a marriage. For in the end, it was not what they had together that mattered, but what they chose to build apart.